Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be a scent safari episode. You guys already know this is sort of when I work with a house that I have some interest in and try to get some samples from them and give you guys sort of first impressions on their collection. If they have more than 5 fragrances, I try to talk about the 4 that I feel like will be most interesting to you guys, and if less, I'll just talk about 4. And the house we have today is a house that I reached out to. This is a house called Gallivant, and this is a new brand that both Lucky Scent and Twisted Lily are carrying. It's an English brand who was started by a gentleman named Nick Stewart. Nick was the former creative director at Gallivant Perfumes. Anyone who watches my channel knows how I feel about that house. They are easily top 5 niche houses of all time. Zing is my favorite fragrance, my favorite niche fragrance of all time. You know, for me, it's like L'Artisan, Xerjoff, Amouage, Frederic Malle. It's easily in my top 5. And so what Nick did here is when I believe he did other things when he left L'Artisan, but to start his own thing, he picked 2 perfumers to work with. He picked Karine, I believe, Chevalier. My French is not great, but she did mini fragrances for a house called Né. And he picked Georgia Navarro, whose work I'm a little less familiar with. But basically, the idea behind the brand is sort of having fun with travel. They initially launched with 4 fragrances. All are available in very travel-friendly 30 ml bottles. Each fragrance is $95. And each fragrance draws inspiration from a specific city. Now, I do need to let you guys know, Nick was nice enough to send me a 30 ml of Tel Aviv. So I'm going to do a full review on that in a couple of weeks. But just for here, for this scent safari, we'll go through each fragrance really quickly. And the first one we're going to go through is called Brooklyn. And Brooklyn has notes of bergamot, lemon, orange, magnolia, orris root, woods, benzoin, amber, and musk. And I like Brooklyn, and being a native New Yorker, I'm very familiar with Brooklyn. I'm a Manhattanite, so I probably don't go to Brooklyn as much as I should, or as much as I should have in my life. But yeah, this is a nice fragrance. To me, it almost smells like a spicy glass of orange juice. You know, it sort of reminds me a little bit of Orange Sanguine by Atelier with some orris in there and some amber. And spice. It's a nice fragrance. Out of the 4, for me personally, it's probably my least favorite, because I think it's probably just the most undecorated out of the bunch. I think it's pretty bare bones, and it's pretty much a nice citrus fragrance. I think there are better fragrances within the collection. The next one is called Tel Aviv, and Tel Aviv, which I'm going to do a full review on, has notes of clementine, bergamot, blackcurrant, and jasmine, sambac, ylang-ylang, rose, freesia, sandalwood, musk, florals, and benzoin. And this, guys, this is gorgeous. There's a fragrance I love by Jean-Franco Ferre called Bergamoto Merino, which to me is bergamot and white florals and woods. And I think this is the definitive version of that fragrance. That fragrance does not last that long on my skin. It does fine for the price. It's been discontinued. But this is an amped up version of that. For me, I find that jasmine is a really hard fragrance for men to wear. Unless it's like with oud and like, Alcat by Xerjoff, which is a very daring fragrance. Here, it's done with citrus, and it's done with sandalwood and musk in the base, and this is just amazing. This is super wearable. It's a summertime. I expect this to be a summertime hype train in the fragrance community. It's citrus, it's jasmine, and it's some woods, and it's just gorgeous to me. I mean, this is blended so beautifully. It lasts forever on the skin. Please stay tuned for my full review on this one. The next one is going to be Istanbul. And Istanbul It has notes of bergamot, cardamom, red thyme at the top, lavender, geranium, patchouli, and opopanax in the middle, sandalwood, vanilla, tonka, amber, and musk in the base. And this one is sweeter and more substantial than the other two. This one starts to get a little bit more meaty, perhaps. It's spicy. It's a little bit barbershop-like. You know, there's the introduction of lavender in this one. There's geranium. There's opopanax. It becomes resinous. It's probably the most substantial of the four. It has a little bit of that fresh out of the barber chair powder on the back of the neck vibe, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. You know, is it Invasion Barbar by Parfum MDCI? No, it's not. But it's really powdery. It's sort of light, but it still has some heft to it. It's really, really good. It's probably my favorite out of the four. I really like Tel Aviv, but I feel like this one is very gentlemanly. I think Tel Aviv is a little bit more unisex. This one probably will cater a little bit more to men. I think Istanbul is brilliant. And then the last one is going to be called London. And London has notes of cucumber and violet at the top, rose de mai, and orris root in the middle, leather, sandalwood, patchouli, and cedar in the base. To me, this is really nice too. You know, this is a little bit animalic to me, actually. Maybe that's the base. Trying to think what that could be. Maybe the leather and the patchouli. It's very watery at the top. It's sort of a watery floral fragrance. I get little hits of the rose and orris, but I really like the violet and the cucumber at the top. And then it has this very real sort of animalic dry down. It's really good. I mean, these are all so good. The notes are super authentic. They're all super wearable. I'm not going to lie to you. Brooklyn, to me, leaves a little bit to be desired, just because I feel like the other three are so well done. I would definitely rock the other three. I really like Tel Aviv. I really like Istanbul, and I really like London. I would definitely look at picking up a pack of these because I think these are wearable in every season, which is really great. And again, it's the right price. The bottles are really cool. I can't wait to do a review on Tel Aviv for you guys, and definitely Istanbul and Tel Aviv are the big winners for me. I'd probably rock London as well, though. So guys, let me know what you think of these if you've tried them. Nick, thank you so much for letting me check these out. There will be a full review of Tel Aviv on my channel probably within 6 weeks. And guys, if you've tried Gallivant, let me know which are your favorites, which ones are you most looking forward to checking out. And of course, guys, I'll see you later this week with more videos. My name obviously is Maximilian, and I must know I'm going to link to Gallivant in the description for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.
My rise inevitable, I rhyme incredible. I try to ascend to the highest level when I'm in the booth. I execute like an armed sniper, nicer than me.